If you're watching this, there's a pretty good chance you either love thrillers, you're a writer, or maybe you're wondering why anyone would spend their years writing a book that hardly anyone might ever read. Honestly, that's a fair question. My name's Jake Winters. I've written 2 crime thrillers, and I've decided to self-publish instead of trying to get a traditional publishing deal. People ask me why. The answer is actually pretty simple. I didn't write my book because I wanted to become famous. I wrote it because I had a story I couldn't stop thinking about. When I first started writing, I did what a lot of new writers do. I researched literary agents. I looked at publishing houses. I read all the success stories. And then I started learning how the traditional publishing world actually works. For many authors, it's an incredible path, but I realized pretty quickly it wasn't necessarily my path. One of the biggest reasons was creative control. This story had lived in my head for years. The characters, the ending, the tone, the pacing. I wanted the final decisions to be mine. Not because I think I know everything, but because if the book succeeds, or if it fails, I want it to succeed or fail on my own merit. That's something I can live with. The second reason? Time. Traditional publishing can take years. You write the manuscript, query agents, maybe you get rejected, maybe you find representation. Then the publisher has to buy it, then edits, then marketing, then eventually, maybe, your book comes out. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that process, but I didn't want to wait years just for someone else to decide whether readers could even see my story. Self-publishing let me say, you know what? I'm putting this out into the world. That's terrifying, but it's also incredibly freeing. Now, here's the part that people don't usually talk about. Self-publishing is not the easy way. You become the publisher, the marketer, the project manager, the cover designer, or at least the person hiring one, the formatter, the person checking proofs, the person figuring out why your margins don't quite line up. You wear every hat, sometimes all in the same day. And yes, my first book didn't become a bestseller. Not even close. But here's something I realized. Success isn't always one giant moment. Sometimes success is simply finishing something that most people never finish. Millions of people say, I've always wanted to write a novel. Very few actually do it. I'm proud that I did. I did it twice. Do I ever wonder what would have happened if I'd gone the traditional route? Sure. Maybe it would have sold more copies. Maybe it would have sold fewer. I'll never know. But I do know this. Every word that's in those books is there because I wanted it there. Every chapter, every ending, every decision. That's worth a lot to me. This channel is going to be about more than just promoting my books. I want to talk about thrillers, crime fiction, writing, psychology, characters, what makes stories unforgettable. Maybe review a few stories along the way. Basically, the kinds of conversations I'd have if we were sitting across from each other at the pub. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, I'd love to have you stick around. I'm Jake Winters, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.